Now, to discuss how Turkey has activated the EU civil protection mechanism, we are now joined by Balazs Ujvari, who is in Brussels. He is the European Commission spokesperson for crisis management and humanitarian aid. Great to have you with us on TRT World.
Good afternoon.
Tell us, how did Turkey activate the EU protection mechanism? And explain us the procedure.
Yes, the past 24 hours have been very, very difficult, we know, on the ground in Turkey and Syria. But also here in Brussels, we are doing our absolute best to bring the assistance needed on the ground. Now, yesterday in the early morning, we received an activation of the EU civil protection mechanism by Turkey. This is a mechanism that has been designed to deal with man-made and natural disasters. Since then, we have been working very hard here in Brussels. We have a crisis management center here in headquarters of the European Union, through which we have been trying to mobilize rescue and search and rescue teams and also medical teams. We have been reaching out to different EU member states, but also other European countries, as a result of which we've been able to dispatch essentially 28 such teams, the vast majority of which have already got to Turkey. In fact, 20 such teams are already on the ground contributing to the rescue efforts. Now, they come from 21 different European countries, 19 EU member states, but also Montenegro and Albania. Collectively, we are talking about more than 1,200 rescue workers and more than 70 detection dogs. Now, in this sense, it's one of the biggest operations that we've ever put in place in the context of the EU civil protection mechanism.
Yes, I've seen visuals of Croatian official rescue operation teams arriving. They were driving towards Turkey. That's a very long drive to reach the affected areas, carrying very, very complicated equipment. So how does this work? Explain to us. Do you get from every country different type of aid?
It is for the requesting countries, so in this case for Turkey, to tell us what they actually need. And what they told us was that they need search and rescue teams, of course, on the one hand, and medical teams on the other. So here in Brussels, we relay this request to all EU member states, and we see who is in a position to provide exactly that type of assistance. And then we communicate this to our Turkish counterparts, and provided that they approve, they accept this assistance, then we can signal to the member states concerned that they can go ahead and deploy these teams and assets on the ground.
And how can these satellite systems help search and rescue operations? President Erdogan was mentioning that as well. He said that will be activated. Does this help the communication?
Indeed, we also have the Copernicus satellite system here, which we operate here in Brussels. This is a satellite system which allows us to provide high-quality satellite images, which we have transmitted to the Turkish authorities so that they can have a precise assessment and evaluation as to how far the damage is going and how big an area must be covered with the rescue operations.
And at the moment, what are the main issues that needs to be addressed based on your experiences in the catastrophic situations like this one?
Obviously, it's about saving human lives. It's about pulling people out of the rubbles. But we know that there is a lot of assistance coming in. There are many, many countries from all over the world sending assistance, and that requires very good coordination. That's why, in addition to the search and rescue teams, we've also deployed a group of specialized colleagues here from the European Commission in Brussels. We send them on the ground to help exactly in that, to help coordinate the incoming European assistance and streamline the rescue efforts on the ground.
And what was the response from the European countries? Seems to me, based on what we heard from the officials, that the EU really stood united when it comes to this crisis.
I think you're absolutely right, and the figures speak for themselves. So here we have, I mentioned, 21 European countries, of which 19 are Europeans. So that means that in just 24 hours, we have had more than 2/3 of the EU member states responding to this Turkish request, and I think that's a remarkable achievement. And of course, we are going to work very hard in the coming hours to make available additional assistance. It can be expected that other member states contribute as well. And here in Brussels, we'll do our best to facilitate the delivery of this new assistance on the ground.
Balazs Ujvari, I really appreciate your thoughts and your insights and all this information that you gave us on TRT World. Thank you.